A lot of people have incorrectly defined the word sell in their own mind because when we moved west and there was a lot of different go-getters, right, that were doing sales in a fashion of get as much for myself as possible by using psychology tricks and by using different ways to manipulate or saying things are better than they are or, doing these things to make a sale. That's not even what the word sell came from. The word sell came from the Old English word sellon, which meant to give. And the whole process of sales is believing in what you have so much that you want to give it to people. And there has to be a value on it because if someone was given your product for free, they will not value it. If you have an important product, something that will change somebody's life or something that will serve their business, will serve their community or serve their family, if you have that product, they have to invest in it so that they will value it in their life. So your purpose as someone in sales is to find the people who your product is right to serve.
The thing with sales, as you know, is that people can feel whatever's going on with you, and no matter what words you say, there is a communication of energy, and people pick up your energy. And if your energy is about getting something for yourself, doesn't matter what words you say, they pick up that energy. I've coached a lot of salespeople, and what I always recommend for people in a slump is for the next several calls, focus on loving the person that you're talking to. Treat them the way that you would treat your closest friend or family member, and try to reorient, essentially. Change the GPS. But again, it's very much like what I was saying about burnout, is to change the orientation from me to them. That really helps. The other thing that I found helps is to really be focused on, I've heard it called the doctor's frame. Or in other words, be talking to people as if you were a doctor trying to find out whether, let's say you're a heart doctor and you're talking to somebody to see whether you can help them. In that case, you're not trying to sell them on open heart surgery or bypass surgery. You're trying to determine, can I help them? Do they have a condition that I can genuinely help resolve? Anything that takes the yucky selfishness, that's what I found happens to most people who have sales plateaus, is that they're not aware of it, but it creeps in subconsciously. And every sale they don't get, the creepiness of, I've got to get this next sale, creeps into their energy. The fastest way, I think, is just to love the person you're talking to and treat them the same way you would treat your mother, let's say. And
the mechanics of sales fall into 5 categories. So the first part is investigation. And that's like I was talking about. You want to investigate who you are. You want to investigate who your ideal clients are. What are their challenges? Where would you find them? How would you communicate clearly to them in a way that will resonate with them? So investigation is the first piece of the puzzle. Then you move to expectation. So you want to set clear expectations about the sales process, about your offers. You want to understand your prospects' expectations, but it's a real clear boundary. So, and I teach a formula. It's called PLAN. So it's purpose, logistics, agenda, next steps. And within that framework, I can use that everywhere. So for example, when I'm inviting guests for my own podcast, I will say, okay, the purpose of this conversation is to really share with our audience. Our audience is, sales professionals and yada, yada. And this conversation is going to be 30 minutes and I'm going to ask you these questions and I'm not going to, you can just run with it. And then at the end, we're going to do these next things. So I can use my PLAN formula in just about anything. A sales conversation, an interview, a conversation with my kid about like, okay, buddy, we need to sit down and talk about where you're going to go to university. And don't worry, this conversation isn't going to last more than 30 minutes, right? So it's that. So you use that formula everywhere. The third piece of the mechanics puzzle is question. And basically, the gist of this is no prospect at any time should ever ask you a question that stumps you, not because you know every answer, but because you are really clear that the first most important thing you want to understand about the question that they're asking is why they're asking the question. not to jump quickly to answering it. And so I teach some questioning techniques that help you so that no question ever stumps you ever again, period, end of story. Like, never. Um, so that's a really important part of getting to the heart of what is important for your prospects. The fourth piece of the puzzle is qualification. This is the part everybody wants to get to quickly because you want to qualify or disqualify your prospects, which is why questioning techniques and setting strong expectations and being clearer about the investigation step, all that comes first. But qualifying, you really want to qualify people and opportunities in three categories. And that's, do they have a pain? Is there a problem that needs solving? If they don't have that, you really shouldn't go on. Like, what's the point? Are they the right person? Like, you have to understand the whole decision making process. So it's not just are they the right person, but does their timeline fit for you? Does the way they make decisions work for you? There's a lot to understand in the decision making process. And then there's obviously money, right? But it's not just money. It's it's budget, but do they have the budget for time? Like, if somebody needs to fix something by the end of this week, but really the solution is going to take them 6 months, they're not thinking clearly about what the right solution really will take. And so they may disqualify them in their expectations or what they can allow in terms of a time budget. So that's the fourth step. And then the final step is presentation. And this is where, of course, you're going to present your offers, but the key here is that you're only going to present to those who qualify earlier. And if they don't qualify, you stop. Like, there's no presentation that happens unless they meet the qualification step. So those are the 5 pieces of the puzzle: investigation, expectation, question, qualification, and presentation.
There's a lot of great entrepreneurs out there who have skills, especially service-driven entrepreneurs. They want to make a difference for their fellow man and woman, okay? And the problem is, though, they're afraid to sell. They don't want to come across as salesy. They don't want to come across as pushy. They're a good person. They don't want to think, my God, I'm one of these people that stinks of commission breath, that all I want to do is make the sale and get that commission. So quite often, they don't go forward and ask for business because they're worried about doing that. They don't get the business because there's a fear, there's an imposter syndrome going on over there. And to me, that's a mistake because honestly, you're a good person. You got to reframe it from selling to serving. You're here to serve people. You're not here to sell them. Nobody wants to be sold, but everybody wants to buy something that they need. People are here because they have a problem and you have a solution to that problem. You are a problem solver. Business is, after all about solving acute problems that people face.
So the first thing I'd say is ultimately realize that there's millions of people out there that are great fits for your product and service. And, maybe it's not millions, maybe it's only in hundreds of thousands. That's a lot of people that need what you can offer. So the next person you speak to might not be a good fit. And the next 5 people you speak to might not be good fits. And that's okay. But go in there to serve, go in to help, go in acknowledging that this is a gift. This is why you're starting this business, because you have a talent or a gift in this area. I'm not going to impress everyone. I'm not going to win everyone over. I'm in it for the long haul. So since I know there's an abundance of opportunity, I can go in confident, go in there to serve. And if I get knocked down, there's someone else down the corner that's going to be a perfect fit. So once you even have that mentality, it's not about, these are my products and services, you need this, blah, 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 listen to me. It's about asking questions, surveying your potential clients, getting to know their needs, and actually creating your strategies around serving them rather than, I already have all the answers. I'm going to come in and tell you what you need. It's actually asking them what they need and finding ways to tailor your products and serve them, because I promise, I know I said a lot at once, but I promise you're going to go through some pivots. So be prepared to change, move the needle in a different direction, but go in to serve those people, understand there's abundance of them, and create some of the services and tailor some of your customer service around them and your marketing around them. And then I promise you'll kick butt.
So I'm a big fan of winning the heart by telling your story and putting people at ease by giving them a book or videos or podcast as they're researching you and all of your competitors. Because when you market properly, your competitors aren't doing that. And it separates you and it makes small business owners who don't have a lot of money, if they find a way to separate themselves and tell their story and don't try to be like everybody else, be you, tell your story, it's going to resonate with your ideal audience and you're going to find more people connecting with you and they're going to be more willing to have a conversation with you, which is the first step in a relationship with other people.